Is Philip joining? I know Tammy has a call with Daniel, so she will be late. But do you know if Philip is joining?
Not sure yet.
Let me message him. Okay, Carlos, you are able to record?
Yes.
So let's record. Ebo, you here? Ebo, you're here.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I was just moving to a free place.
It what?
No, I was saying I was just moving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
Oh,
Hello.
hey Philip. Hey Philip, how are you?
I'm fine. Sorry for the delay. I was working on Blip.
No worries. Okay, what do you want to? We need to go over the changes, what was changed, and then go over some notes to make sure we're testing everything.
Yeah. I know we made some comments yesterday, right? You want to go over everything again, Dorat, and then
because I want to make sure Philip and Carlos also understand everything.
Okay, I just have one final section I'm going to write at the bottom, but we can go over everything. So, I know Ash is going to be my audible actually before I continue.
It's what?
Can you guys hear me properly?
Yes.
Okay. So I was going to say, I did see the bugs that you put for assumption 1, I think it was. I can replicate it on my side, and I wanted to fix it because it's going to, I guess, make it hard to test the new changes. That's what I was trying to.
Thing you mean?
Yeah, because the waiting period happens. Also happens there, right? When you change groups and stuff. So I wanted to fix it so that there are no issues there, and we can test everything properly. Yeah, but I can replicate it now, actually.
Okay.
So I wanted to fix it. Yeah. So I'll check that after this meeting, and hopefully I can get it done so that testing is not, I guess, frustrating for you.
Yeah.
I know it is. Yeah. So I'm not going to, I guess, assumption 1 was fine. Which one was not so correct, Dabrat? Maybe I should go over those rather than the true ones, right?
Yeah, with the ending round thing was not so correct. Like the merging.
Oh yeah, I think it was 3 and 4.
So let's go. Yeah, let's go by from top to bottom, I guess.
Okay. Is everyone on the document?
We're talking about the assumption documents, the documents you created, Carlos.
Yes. Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can see fellas on here.
Did you want me to send it again, or did you find it?
No. We're on it. I was just saying we're going over everything one by one. Just like checking your assumptions. Yeah. Cool. So I'm gonna go over assumption one, which says you create four groups, which is kind of the same cohort, right? And you're basically going to try and, I guess, move them along together when you end the rounds, um, so that you can have enough people come quarterfinals, semifinals, and whatnot, right? And yeah, you just repeat the process up until you get to the quarterfinals. So if you created four groups, and there's at the end of the, I think it's, what is it? Group finals. At the end of the group finals, the winners is only one person, right? And
Right.
since the winner is only one person, then if you had four groups, you'd practically have four winners, right? From four different groups, which would make the minimum, which would be five, right?
Yeah.
Which would be four, sorry, which would be four. And you should be able to have enough people to, I guess, move on, right, to the quarterfinals. This is a good assumption. It's a correct assumption. It's a correct assumption to make. Yeah. So I also saw the issue, and that's what I'm trying to fix now. So that everything else goes well. So, and then moving on to, if you guys have questions about the assumptions, because I'm just trying to explain what I think is a bit of a misconception, and the ones that we all understand. I'm just probably gonna move fast on them. So if you have questions, just you can talk over me.
I have a
Uh,
question now for assumption one. let's
okay.
let's say I produced three winners for quarterfinals, and
Mhm.
we need one more winner to produce the quarterfinals round since the minimum is four people. What happens if we only have three?
Sorry, repeat that.
Um, what if we only have three? We produce three winners only for the group phase finals, to produce the quarterfinals round. Uh, what should we expect when that happens?
Right now, they should be placed into a waiting thing.
Uh, uh, will we be able to see that during testing, or is it like hidden somewhere?
Yeah, I changed the status to waiting, so you should be able to see it. But I need to fix that part quickly, so
Oh,
so that yeah.
I
But
see.
yes, you should be able to see that someone is in waiting.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, cool,
Yeah.
cool. And then for assumption two, um, so we want to also get to the semifinals like we did on assumption one by creating over a thousand users. And I guess from the numbers, if you're creating a thousand users, dividing by let's see, I guess the minimum is what, 25,
Yeah.
right? Yes, by
Yeah.
25, meaning you can have about 40 groups, not necessarily 40 groups, right? So
Yeah.
about 40 groups, yeah. Because you could have 39 because other groups had 26, you know. So you can have about 40 groups, right, Carlos?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, yeah, because it's not necessarily 40. Um, so, okay, cool, you created that, match all the groups. And actually, before we continue this, you know what I was thinking, Brad?
Hmm?
To make the process much more realistic, right? Like instead of me, because that merging of I haven't changed this yet, but I want to, which I think it's safe to do, just so you can simulate the processes step by step rather than me doing it for you when you click end rounds. So this is what I want to do, right? When you click on end round, instead of me finding all the cohorts that are linked to your round, I will just check if I had enough people, I will not end the round. If I didn't have enough people, I won't end the round, and the groups are small, I won't end the round. So I'll actually hide that function, that button on the group to say no, you can't end that round because there's not enough people for that round, right? So what'll happen is that I'll have the merge groups at the top as a button. I will also have merge leftover groups as a button, and you have to do it yourself. And that way, this will clear up assumption number 3 and number 4 because of that confusion, which I will explain what the issue is now. But I'm just putting it out there. Then we'll just go over it now when we deal with assumption 3 and 4. So
But
yeah,
how
so you have
this will? I mean, in reality, the round will end. It's just the new round will not start. No.
well, I guess with these new ones, yes,
Yeah.
but it's also like technically not because well, yeah, they would have. They would have because Justin said we moved that thing from happening everywhere to happening only after the first group phase. Well, after when you change groups, right? But if we had done this across the board, it wouldn't be the case because those new people would be placed in a waiting group, and you know what I mean. But now they're not placed in a waiting group. So yes, but then it means when you end the round, because you didn't have enough people, they'll be placed in a waiting group. Or at least, well, the groups are not changing at that time. When they go to the semifinal, they'll be placed in a waiting group.
Yeah, so that's why I'm trying to understand if that thing that you are saying, not to end around, how this helps us now, because we need to end the group, but the new group should not start. So I'm trying to understand how this flow helps us.
Well, I'm trying to not do it. So what I'm trying to do right now, right, is when you ended the round, I had to explain to you that when you end around, the simulation does 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is not good. Which is not good, right? But if I put all the simulation buttons at the top to say, okay, you're ending the round, okay, you're merging the groups, okay, you're merging the leftover groups, okay, like you're doing those things manually. And when you do those things manually, then you can understand the process better than when you end the round, oh, okay, merge them. And it started leading to the confusion that when rounds end, groups get merged, and that's not the case, right? Yeah. So I'm trying to remove those potential misconceptions about what happens. I'm trying to simulate the production process as best as possible. Because also with this one, the way we have it now, it's how do I explain this? It's it's not the safest because it's not happening in isolation like it would if you're clicking on each button to do each thing. That way, you know this button that I clicked is the same function that runs whenever this thing runs in production or this thing runs in staging in a normal environment. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Carlos, Philippe,
Was that supposed to be for assumption 5 and 6 or 3 or 4?
No, so it's supposed to be, well, it's to clear up 3 and 4, really, right? But at the same time, it's to also move closer to the process we would have in production, right? To say, okay, these steps happen in this order, right? And maybe I'm gonna just add a section at the bottom as well, just so I guess contest flow, and then I'm just going to enter contest, merge. I'll just merge groups, merge leftover groups, and around, actually no, create placeholders and rounds waiting state. Okay, cool. I just wrote the things out. I'll just add more details to them at the bottom after this call.
All right.
So I
So
don't forget.
I'm trying to understand how this helps assumption 3 and 4, like how I mentioned about the random. Uh,
I was about to ask the same thing.
Oh, sorry. It's not 3 and 4. It's 5 and 6.
oh, okay, okay, all right. I figured.
Yeah, it's 5 and 6.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense. Then.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh,
So I guess one.
I
Yeah.
have a question. So you're gonna add that button, right? The one merge small groups. Is that the
Yes.
same thing as like how you guys mentioned that we merged the groups on the like on the fourth day, like minimum 4 days, Sunday 0 = 4. Is that what it is?
What do you mean?
That the small groups can merge with the bigger groups, like in between the round.
So the bigger groups, I think. Do you not want to go through? I think if you have questions about assumptions later in the page, maybe just write it down,
Okay.
and then we can go when we get to that assumption, then we can talk about it.
All right. All right.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So when users all over all have the same amount of votes inside the group, the users are ranked randomly in the next round. For example, yeah, that's a bug. This is a bug. Um, so how it's supposed to work is if you and I have the same amount of votes, right? But I received my vote before you, that means I'm ahead of you, right? Because it essentially means you found me there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So since you found me there already in that spot, you can't overtake me. So uh you are after me by the default. That's how it should be. And if you and I were in the same group and we move to we were in the same group, yes, and we move to the next group, our rankings should stay the same. It should not be randomized. If I was ahead of you, it means I should still be ahead of you, right? Unless new votes come up, but then I got the vote first. You know what I mean? So an example would be, let's say you and I are in top 20, right? And I'm number one because I got there first, and you're number two because you got there after me, right? And we both have 10 votes. Now, let's say between the round of between us going into the top 15 and us being in the top waiting state of the top 20, people vote for us, and well, let's say one vote each, right? But you get the vote before me. That means you are ahead of me by one vote at a certain point in time, right? And then someone voted for me, and now we are the same amount of points again, but I got there after you. Now when moving to the next round, our rankings would be different as much as our votes are still the same, but because we moved from 10 votes apiece to 11 votes apiece, um, and meaning the one who got there first stays at the top.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Cool.
Cool.
I have a question. Is there a difference with that between round to round or group to group?
What do you mean?
Like, does does those rules apply for group phase um, and also for group to group?
I'm not sure I'm following you.
Or I'll think of the question. Like, I need to like think about it. I'll ask
Okay.
later.
Or maybe did you guys catch what he's trying to say?
Can you repeat that, Carlos?
Um, Actually, I need to think about it. Even I'm not sure what I'm asking.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Well, do we
Cool.
have the info? I'm trying to locate it on the article, but I don't see that it's there. Like when we move between rounds, when do we clear the votes and when do we continue with the votes?
So we clear the votes when you change groups, not when you change necessarily change rounds. Well, you always change rounds, but when you change a group, so meaning going from top 20 to top 15, your votes stay the same, right?
So
Up until
yeah.
So your votes will accumulate up until you get to the group finals, right? So in the group finals, your vote would have accumulated for the whole competition at that point, right? But
Okay.
now, after that point, like after the group finals, right? After the group finals, your group changes. Like you've been
Uh-huh.
changing rounds, but your group has essentially been the same this whole time, right? So when you change the group at that time, your votes will kind of reset, not fully reset, right? So this is how they reset. So they would reset if you don't have any momentum votes or any prizes, then your votes will go down to zero.
Okay. So only when I change groups.
Only when you change groups. So your votes will go down to zero. But let's say you had momentum votes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that means when you get to your new group, those momentum votes will follow you,
Yeah,
right?
momentum votes will follow you. Yes.
Yes. And that's another thing
Labo,
where,
does
yeah.
this apply to the competitions without groups that are just rounds? Like for the votes now for icons, we have just rounds. Does this apply to that one as well, or just the competition with groups?
No, it should apply to everyone.
So for icon now, the votes reset after every round.
After every round. What do you mean the votes should be set after every round?
For icon,
Like
I
you are
think
saying that the votes are resetting with each round, even if you are in the same group.
Yes, but now the case is for icons now there are no groups, right? It's just rounds.
Uh,
So I
but
was just asking
we do
if
have groups for. Oh, I'm looking at Hot Summer. Sorry. Yes.
so I
Yeah.
was just wondering if the same mechanism applies to the competition without groups.
So for the
Competition
icon,
without groups. There's no competition without groups, right?
yes, but he means that each round you're switching groups as well. That's what he means.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for icon we need more clarity level on, because it's like the league thing, and we said we would discuss what we're doing there.
Yeah, I had spoken to Justin about this. Um, need to address it. I need to address it. So normally, what we looked at is when you change groups, but we're also supposed to check if your is it your group or your round, something like that, stays the same. So we need to act in that time as well in order to fix that issue.
Okay, so for the icon there is no point to test at this point till we get clarity on what are we doing there.
Yeah.
So let's not focus on the icon now.
Yeah.
The icon is built a bit differently with the structure of the competition.
Okay.
So let's wait for the fixes and clarity.
Okay.
Okay, but with the accumulation of the votes, when you stay on the same group, then you keep accumulating, and then when you move to a different group, then it's reset. And obviously, if you got momentum between the groups, between the rounds, if you got the momentum votes, then when you start a round, you do have those votes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
Okay. Cool. We're moving on to. Where were we on?
We did
Us.
we did 3, so now we are at 4.
Okay. Normally, we need to end group phases to produce quarterfinals. But what if we only have 3 group phases and end the group finals are hidden somewhere in the back end? They shouldn't be hidden anymore. You should be able to see the waiting contestants. Yeah.
I think you answered this question actually about the that we'll see their waiting status or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that was what I was trying to ask.
Okay.
But here what we were saying, like, so it should not end the round if that's the case.
What do you mean?
Like if we are on a waiting phase, so the previous round I'm trying to end it, but I don't have enough contestants for the next round. So we will have waiting period, right? So, but the previous round ended, right? Like I should be able to end that round. Yeah. I'm
The
asking.
previous round. Oh, so you're saying the previous round should be what? Sorry.
So so I ended the previous round, but I don't have enough contestants for the next round. So and then I have the waiting period in between, right? So what?
Yes.
So the previous round ended, but the new round was not open yet, right? So the previous round ends though, because I think here we had an issue that we could like, I don't know what we said, that it should not end the round. The yesterday when we spoke, you said that it should not end the round in this case. So I'm trying to understand if it should end the round or it should not end the round.
It should. I mean, if it should end it actually, right?
Okay, so it should. Yeah, yesterday. So I'm gonna fix my note here.
Yeah, it should end it.
It should end the round. Okay. It should end the round, and we will have the waiting period. Waiting period till the next round starts. Okay, cool. I'm just fixing my note there. Okay.
So we're going to 5 now?
Yes.
Cool. The small groups are merged with large groups when we end rounds, and and this only occurs during top 20. All of the groups need to be in the same. Yeah, so I guess maybe I should also add another section at the bottom there where I clarify some of these terms. Okay, so we have that over time. Let's have, what do I want to add? Merging groups. Cool. I have a section there. Cool. So how this works, right? And why we do what we want to do, right? I'll explain, but I'll also update the notes at the bottom of the screen. So the idea is there's two things. Maybe more than two. We want to be able to start the round right away, right? And by doing that, we have these models, right, that people are voting for, right?
Mhm.
So, and the more people vote for us, the more money we make, right? As Maxim, I'm just talking for Maxim, right?
Yeah.
So now, by starting the round right away, at least you're opening up the fact that people can vote for you whenever launch is, right? Which is fine. Now, number two, is we have these minimums, right? Where you have minimum, what's this? Minimum number of groups of contestants in a group, right? So we know that there's 25 for Gavago group stage, especially to start, right? So now if you enter the contest, you're going to be placed in one of the 5 groups in a way, right? And then the reason we spread them around like that is to try and avoid cases where we have exhausted the 90 max in one group and we have one person who's not in a group, right? And are you guys following me?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if we had, like we have our max participants, right? Which is 90 for cover girl, right? Let's say we had 91 contestants. If we were not doing it the way that we're doing, which I'll go into detail now, we were not doing that, we'd find ourselves in a position where we have this thing where you have all 90 members, right? All 90 in one group and one person in another group. We have 2 groups, but essentially that person in that one group can just progress all the way till like the quarterfinals because it's only them in that particular group, right?
Yeah.
Even if I get 0 votes, even if I get just 1 vote, right? Since I'm the only person in that group, I would have. It's kind of like cheating in a way, right? Because you're not. Yeah, someone would have 50 votes and be 90, and you'd have 1 vote and still be able to proceed. Especially because the votes get reset after the group changes it anyway. So I've practically got 1 vote, and I'm in the quarterfinals, which is kind of cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we do is, instead of us trying to make groups of 90, we make optimal groups of 25, 26, 27, 28, around there, right? So, yeah. And then when those groups we basically just say, okay, we have these 5 groups, and then we're just going to place people there one by one, up until we get to 25, which is our minimum. And when we do get our balls for that, right? Our votes, sorry. So, not. What am I saying? I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
I think you're trying to get to the merging of the groups.
Yes, so the merging of the groups, right? So we have 5 groups which have 1, 2. When someone join, I'm just placing people in there, right? So this is how it happens. when the first contestant joins, right? I'm like, okay, there's no group. I'm going to create one, right? When the second contestant joins, I'm like, oh, there's only one group. I'm going to create another group, right? For five groups, and then I'm like, okay, there's up until I get to 5 groups. Now, when I get to 5 groups, I'm like, oh, okay, which one has uh less than the minimum that I less than not the minimum that what's that number? Let me open Airtable. The small number. You remember that small number?
2 or 2 or 3? What do we have?
3 for cover.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, I forgot
The
what the
group
number is.
increment size.
Group increment size, yes. So we have these groups that get to group increment sizes, right? Now, when I get to a position where I have these group increment sizes, I have 3 groups of 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, right? I have these small groups, right? And then I have at every hour, right now we're doing it at every hour, whereby this thing would just come and collect. Okay, take these small groups, see if you can make a minimum group. Take these small groups, see if you can make a minimum group. Take this one, right? And then now I have groups of 25, groups of 26, group of 27, right? And that way we know this is like 3 times less than my maximum, which is about 90. And I'm sitting at about 25, 26, 27, right? And this will help us such that we can never have it's kind of mathematically impossible to ever have a lingering contestant who is in one group by themselves, right? Because what will happen is I would have all these groups of 25, 25, 26, 27, right? Which are groups that can compete, so they can technically compete, right? And once they can compete, and we reach the cut-off time. I'm not sure if you guys know what the cut-off time is.
What's
Do you
the
know?
cut time?
So the cut-off time is the time at which you can never have new contestants join the cohort, right? That's where the cut-off time is, and that's where we can do most of these things. So how we determine that is like, you know how we place people this Thursday, right? Like if you join on a Sunday, we can place you this Thursday. That's when you're on. And now the cut-off time would be, you could say Monday midnight in a way, right?
What is
well,
that
yeah.
on the Airtable? Do we have a cut time? What is this?
Let me write it down. I'm gonna write it down here because I don't know where these things are on my table.
That's the thing. I feel like we're missing from the Earth, like a lot of information that is not on the Airtable.
Yeah. Of time. So cut-off time is like, you know how if I join on a Saturday, right? I'm placed for the next Thursday, right? If I join on the Friday, I'm placed on the next coming Thursday, right? If I'm joined on the Sunday, I'm placed on the coming Sunday, right? No, coming Thursday, right? Now, if I join on the Monday, I'm not placed on the coming Thursday, right? I'm placed on the next Thursday after the one that I'm going towards, right? Because there's not enough minimum days for me to be part of the current cohort, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? Everyone following?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So now, when we get to that time, like basically like midnight or after Sunday, right, on Monday morning, right? That's when I'm like, okay, I can't have any more new people join, right? This cohort, right? Then I'll merge the leftover groups. So meaning the leftover smaller groups into the other 25, 26, and then I'll start distributing them across. Okay, I have 20 groups of 25 to 26, and I have smaller groups as well. And then I'll just distribute them. Take one, put them there. Take two, put them there. You know what I mean? And then now all those smaller groups that technically couldn't have competed by themselves, or it would kind of be cheating to compete by themselves because they will make it all the way to the finals because it's like 2, 3 people, right? So they will make it all the way. And while someone who's in the bigger groups wouldn't make it all the way, they might get knocked out in the first round, even though they had more votes than the people in the smaller groups, right? So those people now would have, when we had, let's say we had 20 groups, 20 groups that meet the minimum, and 5 groups that don't meet the minimum, which is the 2, 3 groups, right? Then what we do, we'd spread them across all the other groups, and then you could have groups being like 40 or whatever, right? Because of those smaller groups at that time. And also, when we do measure the smaller groups, before we can measure the smaller groups into the bigger groups, we check, can we, from the small contestants that we have right now, right? The smaller groups that we have at that time of the cutoff thing, at that time, can we make another smaller group, right? Can we make another group of minimums? Sorry, not smaller. Can we make another group of minimums from these people that are left over? So let's say I had 21 groups, right? But then the groups of 2, 3 add up to 25, right? Or 26. I will just put them in a new group, one group, and put them together.
And this is
right
on the how do you call it? The cutoff time?
The cutoff time, yes. That's when I'm sure that there's no new people coming into this. This cohort hasn't, all these people in this current cohort is all the people for this cohort that are going to be part of the competition. No one else is going to join because it will break the rules of the competition in terms of the minimums and the not. Yeah. Are you following? Yeah.
Can you explain the main difference between what happens every hour and what happens at the cutoff time?
Yeah, so they're slightly different, right? They're slightly different in the sense that at cutoff time, I still do what I do every hour first before I measure the smaller groups, like I mentioned earlier. So every hour I check. So every time someone measures joins the contest, right? We would do the increment sizes, right? We'll do groups of the increment size. We create groups that don't meet the increment size, groups up to the increment size, right? Groups up to the increment size. Those are the small groups of 2, 3 that we have, right? Now, at the hour, all I do is these small groups of 2 and 3, can I make 25 or can I make the minimum contestants? If I can, I merge them together and create the minimum contestants, right? If I can't, I leave it and I wait for people to come and join, right?
Right.
Yes. And then now we get to a point where this process has happened like 5 times and we have 5 groups of 25, right?
Yes.
Now, since I have 5 groups of 25, and cutoff time is approaching, and I still have smaller groups maybe that add up to, let's say, 60, right? Those small groups add up to 60. And a lot of people joined at that time. These small groups add up to 60. Now, it's cutoff time. At cutoff time, what do I need to do? I need to make sure that there's no contestants that are increment sized, right? I need to make sure that there's no groups that are of size increment size. And then by doing that, before I can distribute what's left across, I need to see, can I create a group of 25 or can I create a group of minimum size, right? If I can, I will create groups of minimum sizes. And then there will be left whatever is left. Like, let's say 5 contestants, or at max like 24, right? At max you have like 24, because otherwise I would have created another group of 25, right? So max you'd have 24 contestants lingering across. So if it's 24, and if the size is like 2 each, so you have about 12 groups, right? That are lingering and need to be placed or merged into something else, right? So what I do is like, okay, take this 2 that's here, put it in that 25 that's there. Take this 2 that's there, put it in the 25 that's there. Take this 2 that's here, put in 25 that's there. And then now we have groups of the other groups that were around 25, 26, 27 can now be 30, 35 because of the distribution, right? And then we've distributed those groups into, yeah, right?
If I understood correctly, the the end what is it called, the time, what was the word you guys used for like Sunday night?
The cutoff time?
Yeah, cutoff time.
Cut off time?
So cutoff
Yeah.
time, that's when we'll have like 30, 40, 50 contestants per group. Meanwhile,
Yes.
every hour it's the ones that are 25.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
in real life, like let's say, does the hour ending cutoff still happen 1 hour before the oh my god, I forget the word, the cutoff time?
Wait, so repeat that?
Like let's say the cutoff time is like at midnight, like on what's it, Sunday night. Um,
Okay.
do we still use that 1 hour rule? Let's say at 11 p.m. on Sunday.
Sorry?
Like so we have so midnight is when the cutoff time. That's when it happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
What about 1 hour
Okay.
before? Are we still doing the hour merge?
Yeah, we would have tried to do that, right?
Yeah. So
Yes,
anything
we
that's
would have tried.
left, so anything that's left over in the last hour is pretty much gonna merge with the bigger groups, right?
Yes.
Okay, I think I understand.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Yeah, this is a lot of. Mm?
well, sorry, one more question. Will there ever be an instance that we reach 90 contestants, like close to 80 or 90?
To be fair, I don't see how we could at this time, eh?
Oh, okay. I was just
Yeah,
wondering.
because of the way we currently do things. I don't see how we could. But yeah.
The 90 is the max for what? Because I see 60 for the cover girl. So where is the where you,
I used to see 90. I don't know if it changed or something. Is it 60 now?
yeah.
Oh, I guess it changed. It
Mm,
used to be 90.
yeah.
So it's 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. We can go to the next one.
This is a lot of talking.
I know, Lebo, we will have to do more talking because, yeah, like I said, as you can see, we still have basic questions because we don't know what we are testing.
Yeah,
We
and
need,
you still have what's this? You you still have this video to analyze afterwards.
yeah, but that's why I'm saying, like, once you are done with the implementation, we need to get on a call and basically do what we do separately with, simulating the
Yeah.
movement. We need to do with you. So if we have issues, you can see it as it happens, and not like a week or two after when we don't remember what happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cool.
one more question. I'm sorry. So the button you were gonna add the ending the smaller groups button. So that's gonna simulate this situation, right? Like merging the smaller groups, like how
Yes, it should do that.
it's simulating
The
the
cut,
which one?
the cutoff.
Yeah, the cutoff. There you go. That's what it's simulating, right? Not the hour per hour.
No, well, um, not hour per hour. The hour per hour is merge groups, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we are asking on the second button that you said to merge the smaller groups. So that button will simulate the cutoff time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What about hour per hour? How could we simulate that?
That will
With
be
the
the
merge,
same merge groups button, like the same one.
that's the one you've been clicking, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I see.
Yeah. He will just add additional one to merge the smaller group to the existing groups.
Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Uh, let's respond to this message. Cool. So where were we?
Assumption
6.
6.
Yeah, I think we were just talking about 5 now.
Okay.
I guess I kind of already addressed this earlier, but I will just clarify once more. So, right now, right, what I was doing was when you end the round, right, the button that we added to the UI, when you end the round, I'm basically saying, oh, okay, you said you were going to end this round on Thursday, the coming Thursday. I'm going to take that date and bring it to now, right? What does that mean? If we are now and now is the round end time or end date, right? When would the merging have happened? Carlos, what do you think?
At the cutoff time.
When would the cutoff time be if the rounds were ending today, right? When would the cutoff time be?
If the rounds are ending today,
Yes.
what's you're talking about today? Tuesday.
Well, yeah.
When would the cutoff time? It would be next week. No, next week's Thursday.
No.
It's
No. The round ended today. So now just take out of your mind the fact that the round ends on a Thursday, right? Let's
okay.
just remove that because well, technically, I guess we could try and simulate it like that and move when you end a round, we move it to the previous Thursday, and we move the current cutoff time to the previous. I guess what is this? I guess whatever, right? Then
The
maybe that's what it do
time
then.
it will be 4 days before the end round, no?
Yes, 4 days before the end round, or to be more accurate, min days before the end round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Carlos answered next Thursday. So that so if we are doing the cutoff today, then the round will end next Thursday.
What's no. No.
Somebody-
So no. So cutoff time. So what you should think about, right? Remove and date the end of what do they call it? The day in which the thing will end?
Cut off.
No.
The round time, you mean?
The end round date.
The end round day. Yes. Right? So technically when we end the round today, we are breaking that, right? We are. Because your end round day is meant to be on a Thursday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and we just said, "Oh, you ended the round, you're ending it now," right? Which, in the grander scheme of things, doesn't really affect anything, right? Other than the fact that we're inconsistent. So I can leave it the way it is now, which is where I'm just ending the round right now, right? Or what I can do instead of changing that time to now, I can move it to the previous Thursday as the end date, which we would still treat it the same way, right?
Wait,
Are you following me?
I did not understand.
So if maybe it's also just an exercise for me to make sure that there are no bugs, no matter what day you start on, right? Or you
Mhm.
end on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if let's say, because tomorrow we could easily change the config on Airtable and say
Yeah.
minimum days is 2 and maximum what's this? Yeah, what's this thing? I'm just gonna open Airtable. Just open it and have a look at it. It's on the contest, right?
Contest
Oh, no.
rounds. The minimum
Contest
days on
round.
the contest rounds, yeah.
Yeah, contest round. So you have, what is this thing? I think it's the group. Or not? Yeah, it is. It is the round, yes. Right? So we have end day week, right? Which is 4, meaning it's Thursday, right? So if tomorrow I change it and say end day of week is Tuesday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we expect it to still work the same way in the back end. Nothing has changed. Just that nothing has changed. We're just running it for a different cohort, right? Or a cohort that will be ending on a Monday instead of what we have now on a Thursday.
If you are changing what? If you are changing the minimum amount of days?
Yes, I'm saying if we change Airtable now just to test, right?
Yeah.
And we change the minimum amount of days and whether it's going to end on a Sunday or if it's going to end on a Monday, to us, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that for now, we have just picked it to be Thursday.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. Me changing the end date and saying it's today shouldn't affect much.
So at any point, the cutoff time will happen according to the minimum days we have before the end of the round. Like if I had on the minimum days 2, then the cutoff was 2 days before the end round.
Not 2 days before. Well, I guess it's kind of 2 days. Yes, 2 days before. Yes.
Okay, and then
At the cusp of 2 days before.
it's what? Sorry.
So it's basically 2 days, like at less than 2 days, right? So meaning, because if you have the 2 days, if it's at the 2 days, then you can practically still add someone because you're not excluded yet. You only get excluded once we have less than 2 days.
Less than 2 days. Okay.
Yes.
Less than 2 days, then no one can join to that round anymore.
Yes. So then that means that is the cutoff time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how can we test that, like to check that we are, like less than the days exactly, like if we want by the hour or by, a minute before to be able to test to join, and then a minute after we are not able to join?
I see. How can I do that? How can I do that? Yeah, we would need to add something on the UI for you to simulate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a list of these things that I need to add that you would love?
What, the things that we were talking about now on the call?
Yeah. Yeah, like smaller things like this that I need to add that can help with QA. Well, yeah.
So we said what did we say? The button to for cutoff, basically for cutoff time. One, two. For cutoff merge, I guess. Merge groups, and then we had a button to actually simulate the time for the cutoff. For the cutoff. Is for you can still join the round, the group less than 4 Okay, if that makes sense. What else did we said? What else did we say to we need to add?
You mean in terms of continuing with the assumptions? Or you mean in terms of other issues?
Just in general, did we say we will add other stuff besides that?
I think that
I don't remember.
Okay. I think it okay. So we can move to the assumption, the next assumption. Unless you have questions, guys.
I just want to clarify. So if we use the button to simulate the cutoff, what is the expected behavior?
The cutoff, the merging of the groups, or the cutoff the time?
The cutoff time. I mean the cutoff time. When we simulate that, is it that we wouldn't be able to merge again after that cutoff? I'm trying to understand what the expected behavior will be when we trigger it.
So the merge should be done with the other button, the merging of the small groups, but the actual cutoff time. So like we were saying that if we are doing if the cutoff time is 4 days before the contest end, it means that when we reach to the time that it's less than 4 days, then no one can join that round anymore. So you are not able to have anyone on this round anymore. So we need to kind of simulate that time, because a minute before that, let's say it happens at midnight. So 11:49, you'll still be able to join the round, but at midnight you won't be able to do that anymore.
Okay.
So we need to kind of simulate that scenario that when midnight comes, you're not able to join that round anymore.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, Leo, you can go ahead. You can.
Cool. Yo, this is quite a bit, eh?
And we haven't started yet, Lebo.
I know. It's yeah. I know. I no longer have round extension. Yeah, I guess that's simple enough, right? We don't have round extensions anymore. We have people waiting. We have waiting periods, right?
Yeah, but we do have
Yeah.
the overtime, but I guess we can go over that after, because it's assumption number 9.
Yeah. Cool. So we're there. That's fine. There's nothing to really talk about there. Let's go to number 8. We're based around end date based on the config on Airtable. Yes. For example, if you join on a Friday, on next Thursday, we a number of days, and it's forever. But on Monday, not in the context to the assumption 8 is fine, right?
Yeah.
For everyone.
Carlos?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Okay, cool.
Cool. And we're no longer going to implement overtime is not correct assumption. So overtime is still a thing, right?
Yeah, so how this thing will work?
So this is how overtime works, right? So we have a list really that we get from, or we're supposed to get it from Airtable, but now we hard coded it as per Justin's request, right?
What's this list
So
you're talking about?
it's like a list of numbers that tells you, well, number one, how many times you do overtime, and when you do overtime, right? And how you do overtime, right? So we do overtime when votes change hands, right? Well, not votes, positions in the voting stage, right? Change hands while there's about an hour left, right? So it depends, because it changes for each one. So this is how, let's say we are 40 minutes in, right? Well, not 40 minutes in. We have 40 minutes left, right? To end the round. Now, so we have 40 minutes to end the round. And someone votes for me, and then those votes make it such a way that I increase what's this? I increase the time by the difference to I need to explain this list.
Do you want to share
this-
that list? The list will help us understand it better.
Yeah, it's basically like it's going to be like 60, 50. Let me see what I have it as actually. How do I say it? What is this list? Over time. How to find it? Just trying to see Justin send this list to me. There we go. Can you guys see?
Yes.
What did you share? Where did you share it?
In the Maxim channel.
Okay, yeah.
So we have that 60, 40, 50, whatever, right? Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, the Vrat's volume went down a bit. But it's fine now. So you see we have 60, right? Now, 60 just is 60. All those things, just think of them as minutes, right?
This is minutes?
Yeah, think of them as minutes, right? So what happens is, let's say votes change, right? And there was like 5 minutes left, right?
Like 5 minutes what?
Let's say votes change, like not votes, rankings change, and there was 5 minutes left in the round, right?
Okay.
Since this is the first time we're doing overtime and we haven't done overtime for this particular cohort or group, since actually group, right? Since we haven't done overtime before for this group, and we have 5 minutes left, what I want to do is whatever time that's currently is, I want to make sure I make it get to like to a point where we have 60 minutes left, right? In the round, right?
Okay.
So that means what? I need to extend the the end time by 55 minutes, right?
But it's set to every time we have 5 minutes left, or we have different rules when you do have 10 minutes left, 60, like, I don't know. Like, is it every time when rank changed when you have 5 minutes left and less? What are the rules exactly?
So wait, what?
So you gave the example with the 5 minutes. I'm saying it's this is the rule when you have 5 minutes left to the round end, and then the ranking changed in this 5 minutes. Then you're adding the minutes, so it will be up to 60 again.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's so for each round, it's 5 minutes before the round ends, or we have different rules for one round.
No. It's not 5 minutes was just an example, right?
So that's
I'm
what I'm trying
saying.
to understand the rules. Like, when do we do that?
Yes. So the rule is if the time, right? You basically only do overtime, right? If wait, we only do overtime if the current place where we're doing overtime, right? So think of it like this. We have 2 hours left in the contest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And votes are like rankings are changing left, right, and center, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are not doing anything because it only applies for when rankings change in the last hour of the round. That's when we do overtime, right?
Oh, so it's when, okay, so that's what I wanted to understand. So it's we when with the changes happen on the last hour of each round.
Overtime happens at the last hour.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So go ahead. So.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Let's say there was votes changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was like 5 minutes left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm going to add 55 minutes to the round,
Yeah.
such that we have an hour left, right? Or 60 minutes left, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, and then when it happens the second time, I'll also be moving down the list. I don't stay at the top. I have to move to say, okay,
So when
I
it happens
increased.
again in the same hour that we extended,
Sorry?
when you're saying when it happens on the second time, you mean like this, like the time, during the time we extended already?
Yes, but the next one will be the last 50 minutes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be an hour anymore.
Got it. Okay.
So so it's going to be 50 minutes now because I'm saying otherwise that first 10 minutes I will be increasing it by to an hour all the time if votes keep on changing, right?
Yeah.
I have to so I have to give it some period where okay, allow them to change freely, right? Let's say this happens, right? We have extended the round by an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
After extending the round by an hour, because vote rankings changed, and then in that first 10 minutes of the hour, we get so many votes for each one, right? And then after that, 10 for 10 minutes, nothing happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the round will end, right? There's no need to extend overtime because it was an incident that happened only at that time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, okay. Now let's say we let it go 10 minutes. And then after that 10 minutes, we go down, we have like 30 minutes left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, since we have 30 minutes left and rankings change, and we're on the second, this is the second time we're going to need to potentially do overtime, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then what you do is you would add, so there's 30 minutes left, that means you increase it by 20 minutes to get to the 50. Say, oh, okay, we need to extend it to such that our round now has 50 minutes left at most, right? When we do overtime the second time because of a vote change.
Yeah. So
Yes.
then you go. So the third time it will be up to 40. The fourth time will be up to 30. The fifth one up to 20. Like you keep reducing the time if the rank keep changing in that last hour, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then when you get to the 10 minutes, you get to the 10 minutes, and then the ranking keeps changing in that 10 during those 10 minutes. The round will just end.
Yes.
Okay. So we keep adding. So we can. So that's the maximum amount of time that the contest can continue, basically.
Yeah.
Like extra 3 hours, I guess.
Yeah,
About extra 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, did you get this thing?
Yeah, I just have a question. What would happen between the 60th to 50th overtime? Like, let's say at the 50, there's 55 minutes left and the rank changed. Uh, will the overtime occur? Like, I know the next one will be 50 minutes. But if we do it at the 55-minute mark, what's gonna happen?
Wait, if you do what at the 55-minute round?
Like if we reach the 55-minute mark, like there's 55 minutes left on the round, during, let's say, the first overtime occurred, like the 60 minutes, and we reached 55 minutes left, and then the ranking changes on the 55th minute. What's gonna happen then? Like you said that it's supposed to go to 50, it's supposed to add up to 50 minutes, right? Like
Well, it depends whether it's the first or second activation, right?
I'm sorry.
It depends on whether it's increasing it for the first time or the second time.
This would be the second time.
Yeah, then it would be to 50 minutes, yes.
But if we have 55 minutes left, how? Well,
Okay.
I'm trying to make sense. Like, will it add 50 minutes or will it go down to 50 minutes?
Oh, between the 60 and the 50, he's talking about this phase between the 60 and the 50. So you are at the 55 minutes, basically.
Yeah.
So you are in the last hour, right?
Yeah. We'll always be in the last hour, right?
I mean, it's not really on the last hour. It's on the last.
To be able to trigger overtime, we have to be in the last hour, within the last hour.
Yeah, within the last hour. So if we extended to another hour on the first time, right? We extended to 60 minutes. So in order for us to extend to another 50, we're asking if when we got to the 55 minutes, it's exactly between the 60 and the 50. Are we like at what point we're extending? Like, yeah, I think you will add additional 50 minutes if you are already on the 55 minute?
No, if you're on 55, right?
Yeah.
If there's 55 minutes left, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have, let me just think. If there's 55 minutes left, and this is the first instance of uh of overtime, right? Meaning that no other overtime happened, right? Then we
Yeah.
will extend it to the 60 minutes. So it's 55, or that means now we have to top it up by 5 minutes, right? To
Yes,
say,
and then
yeah,
you got to and then on the second time, we're asking between the 60 to 50. So on the second time, so on the first time, you just added 5 minutes to get to the 60, right? But let's say you are on the 55 minutes between the 60 and 50, like after the first time happened already.
yeah.
So do you add 50?
No, you don't add 50. You add to it such that there's 50 left. You
Okay.
don't add 50. So if there's 30 minutes left, we need to make sure that there's 50 minutes left. That means we will add 20.
Okay, so it's just when it's under that number then. So Carlos, so let's say you're like on 55, nothing will happen between the first and second time, but let's say it changes, the rank change at 48 minutes, then we will add 2 minutes to get to the 50.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
if the rank changes in the 55th mark, nothing will happen?
If you're already on the second one, no. If you're on the first one, then it will add 5 minutes to get to the 60.
Oh, okay. All right. So as long as you're under the...
Yeah, you need to be under.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah, and then you just add the gap to get to that number. Okay. Okay,
Cool.
so that's the maximum duration for the overtime.
Mhm.
And does it happen for all contests? Do we have on our table when? Oh, we don't.
It does. It should happen for all contests.
Okay, for all contests, all rounds?
That's a good question. Was it all rounds? I don't think it was all rounds. I'll need to confirm that, Dora.
Okay, I'm leaving it as an open question here.
Yeah. Cool. I'm just gonna get some water. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna use the bathroom quickly. So.
These mosquitoes are relentless. Yo, Jesus.
Okay, I'm back.
Cool.
Okay.
You wanna sleep?
My God, so exhausted. Yeah, let's do 10. Oh, we're at 10, no? Yeah.
Yeah. Um.
Oh, before you move on, I had a couple more questions about overtime.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
So for overtime, let's say for group phase, um, does every group have overtime, or is it individually?
That's the one. Adovat asked that earlier. I said I need to confirm.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the only question I had.
Okay. So we good with overtime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I guess yeah. Talking about momentum votes and prize votes. So, Carlos, you want to explain what momentum votes are?
I'll try. So momentum votes are like kind of like a place where your votes go when you're not in an when you're in that in between round to round or group to group when the next group hasn't started yet. So you're collecting votes while you're not in an active group yet. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Sort of. Yeah. Yeah. So basically, momentum votes are votes that are collected after a round has ended, right?
Mm-hmm.
But before the next one has started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in between the rounds.
In between the rounds. So let's say I'm in top well, I'm in the grand finals, right? And then I'm number 2 and I have 300 votes and number 1 has 320 votes, right? Um right? So now technically let's say the round has ended, right? So technically the round has ended. And all votes that you get from now, right, before you start your next round, shouldn't count towards your current round, right? Because your current round is over, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, your next round hasn't started yet, meaning those votes should come to you when the next round starts, right? So the easiest one to see is like, okay, what's the easiest one to see? Let me see. I don't know what's the like a nice way to explain this.
What are you trying to explain, Lau?
The momentum votes. So you get. So I guess I'll just explain it the way that it happens. So let's say, yeah, you are in the round one and you get 50 votes before the round ends, right? And I get 60 votes before the round ends, right? Now, if I'm still accepting votes for this particular person that I like, right? And they receive votes after the round has ended, and they were like 10 behind, and I get 11. It would change my ranking from theirs, right? It would
When
change
the
my
round
ranking.
starts, you mean?
No. I'm talking about if we didn't have momentum votes. That's what I'm asking. If we didn't, yes.
We didn't have.
If we didn't have momentum votes and we still counted the votes, right, towards the round. So what I was saying is, if we don't have momentum votes, it means we have a possibility of rankings changing after the round has ended, right?
Well, if you receive votes up to the end of the round and not after the round ends, then you don't have this issue. You're talking about like you're receiving votes after the round ends?
No, well, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. So in order to support not losing your votes, right, and also not messing up ranking that are already done,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's where we had to do momentum votes. Say, oh, okay, this momentum votes, this person is still in what is this? Illegal. This person is still in what am I saying?
Think you're tired already.
I am, Dobrad. I'm becoming slow.
Yeah. I can
I'm
see.
slowing down. Yeah, I'm slowing down. It's like, okay, I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna explain it again. So I was saying if we didn't have momentum votes, right, we'd have a place where I'm ranked number one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Philip is ranked number two, right? And the round has ended. Technically, when the round ends, we should freeze the rankings, right?
Mm-hmm.
The round is ended, so we freeze the rankings. But then we have a possibility that the round has ended in terms of when the end time is, but we haven't processed it to say end this round yet. We're in that state where things have not been processed, but the time would have actually been that the round has ended, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when that's the case, we do not collect votes, any more votes for that particular round, right?
Yeah.
But instead, we collect momentum votes so that you can use those rounds that you earned in the next round. Because technically, the round could have started by now, in a way, just that we haven't really processed it. The round could have started, those votes should have been attributed to you for the next round. And so what happens is after we are done with all our stuff and we're doing placements, we're like, okay, I owed you 50 votes that were received. Get your 50 votes. And that means you would start your round with those new votes.
Yeah, I get the momentum votes. I guess the placeholders and stuff. I don't know how this thing works, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
the momentum votes are pretty straightforward, I think. No, when any votes that you get after the round end, right, will be added to you once the new round starts.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else that we need to be aware with that?
I don't think so.
Okay. So that including paid votes and free votes. And we said prize votes are not momentum votes. Prize votes just automatically being added to the next round, but it's not considered as momentum votes.
Yes.
Okay. I think this is pretty clear. And guys, unless I'm missing something, do you have any questions on that?
No, this momentum vote is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I think so too.
Cool.
Okay.
What's the next one?
The next one is the placeholder mechanics.
Yeah, placeholders, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why do we even have placeholders to begin with?
Good question.
so imagine this, right, Devrat? So we have top 20 running, right?
Mm-hmm.
And top 50, well, actually top 20, right? You have top 20 running, and then what happens is we move from top 20 to top 15 to top 16 and stuff like that, right? Well, the numbers don't really matter. It's top 10, then top 5,
Yeah.
then, yeah, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you and I are in the same group, right? And then we're competing all the way to what's this thing? Grand finals, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're competing all the way to the grand finals. Now, when we change groups after we win, let's say there was like the winner size was two, right? Yes, the winner size was 2, right? Meaning 2 people can proceed to the next round, right?
Well, which one are you
Instead
talking
of
about?
one.
The grand
I'm
finals?
saying for Cover Girl right now, grand finals, only one person wins, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying let's say 2 people won.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now that means if I'm number 1 and you're number 2, there's a potential that we could be in the same group again, right? When we change groups, it can still be you and me in the same group, depending on how we do it. More especially because the rounds are ended around the same time, right?
Okay, I'm not following through. If you're talking about the Cover Girl finals with specifically you're saying 2 winners, meaning what? You're including the runner-up? I'm trying to understand where are those 2 winners coming from at the beginning.
No. Yeah, so like I'm not including the runner-up. Let me just say, let's assume we were promoting, because in some cases we do. We're promoting more than one person at the grand finals, right? Let's say number 1 and number 2 in the rankings both go.
What the conditions when we do that?
Sorry? It's
When
just a
are we-
configuration thing, right?
Are you giving specific example or just in general this could happen?
I'm giving an example because it could happen for a different contest that is not Cover Girl. Maybe it could happen for Hot Girl Summer. That's why I'm trying to make you understand the concept and not just in the context of Cover Girl, right?
Okay, let's continue and see if I get it.
Trying to avoid Dovrat and I competing again when we change groups because we've already been in the same group already.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So now we create placeholders, right? And placeholders are created this way. We say, get me everyone, right? Where just a moment. I'm trying to think. Yeah, get me everywhere where the next round is the same, right?
Is the same meaning like if you have multiple rounds in parallel, you mean?
Oh, yes, it's more like you know how different people can get to the semifinal differently, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So the
you
only thing,
just mean like same round but different groups.
same round but different groups.
Yeah.
I'm not following.
Like we can have multiple groups under the same round, right?
Yes, we we can have multiple rounds under the same group.
We can have more on the finals, the cover girl finals, you can have multiple groups of the finalists.
Where?
On
I'm so
the
confused.
on each round you can have multiple groups, right? It's not just one group.
No, it's the other way around. You don't have maybe I'm following what you mean by multiple
Like, for
groups.
example, the top 20, it's
Yes.
it's a round, right?
Yes.
And you can have inside that round, you can have 4 or 5 different groups.
Yes.
Okay, so that's what I said when I said on each round you can have multiple groups. And you're saying that the placeholders are to prevent 2 contestants competing each other on each round on each group when they are moving up in the rounds. Did I understand it? This thing?
Oh,
We're trying to
that makes
prevent models to be on the same group each time when they are moving up on the rounds.
Mm. Yeah, that makes sense. That's spot on.
I'm just trying to like make it simpler in my head and translate what you are saying. So I'm trying to understand, to do it like in my brain simpler and see if I understand what you are saying. So the placeholders is in order for us to try to prevent contestants to keep competing inside the same group when they move up into the rounds, right? With the rounds, right? So if me and you competed in one round, the idea is for us not to be in the same round when we move up to the next round.
Sorry, repeat that.
If me and you now we're competing in the same group, okay, and we move to the next round.
Yes.
Like let's say we competed in the semifinals and then we are moving to the finalists. So the idea is to separate us, so we won't be inside the same group when we move up to the next round. Yeah, I'm trying to understand if I got just the idea of what the placeholders do.
Yes.
Like,
So I'm creating placeholders such that I'm saying, okay, this person comes from this group, that person comes from that group. Then you kind of try to decide to put them together such that those people will be in the same group and not the people that you were with from the other groups.
Oh, so the idea is to keep the same group or to mix them? That's what I'm trying
to mix them.
Oh, to mix.
To mix them.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, to mix. So it will not be on each group the same people, that you will start competing other people too.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you do that with a placeholder?
Yeah, so I'm saying get me all the people that are going to the same next round, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the main thing. It's not people coming from a particular round. It's people going to the same next round.
Correct.
Because one might be coming from wild card, one might be coming from something else, one might be a loser from the previous,
Mm-hmm.
coming back into it. That's why I'm like, okay, everyone who's has that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I would kind of have my placeholders and I create groups from my placeholders for
Okay.
moving to the next round. Yes.
And at what point we're doing that? Like how it's working? Like for how long we're having those placeholders, and what exactly is happening there?
Mm. Repeat your question.
Like I'm trying to understand at what point you're using the placeholders. Like when the round ends, then we have placeholders for the next round. Are we keeping the placeholders while we have already people on the next round?
No. So this is what happens, right? So before a round is completely ended, right? I would have create. So there's this thing. A round is scheduled but not finished, right?
A round is
And
scheduled.
scheduled but not finished, right? So when we reach the end time, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we reach the end time, that's when we can create placeholders, right?
Okay.
So after we create the placeholders, we mark the round as scheduled because we have created the placeholders needed to have enough competitors for the next round, while also making sure um, that while also trying to make sure that uh, people from the same rounds, groups, sorry, do not uh, compete with each other.
Okay, so when the round ends, we schedule automatically the next round, or we are first checking how many people we have and then we are scheduling the next round?
Wait, what?
You said when the round ends,
Yes.
then we schedule the next round?
No.
So when the round
So,
ends, what happened?
so I'm saying when the round is past its end time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So technically, your round has ended. We haven't said in the database yet that this person round is ended. What's going on? What is that?
It's just
Is it
my,
you?
yeah.
Okay. Right? So we need to make sure that we've created the placeholders because the placeholders are the ones that help us to create contestants for the new groups going forward before we start.
Okay, so how do we even test that? Like, how do we know that this thing works?
For placeholders,
Yeah.
I would um I would have to yeah. Mm. I'll have to add things like tables for placeholders and stuff. And after the round ends, you can just verify that people that were marked to go to those places for the placeholders are the people that did,
Yeah.
right?
Because at the moment when we end the rounds, we still have the same people on the next round together.
Yes, that's fine, but that's when the group doesn't change, right?
Oh yeah, so this is when the goal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I understand the idea of the placeholder, but yeah, I have no idea how do we test this.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, do you have anything on that?
Just to clarify, this only happens between group to group, not in the group phase.
Yeah, when you're moving between the rounds and groups, yeah.
Okay.
So when you're switching groups.
And well, should we for placeholders? Are we gonna see something like on the user list, like what is placeholder exactly? Is it like a dummy account or is it what is it exactly?
Debo?
What is what exactly?
The placeholders, it's just fake accounts that are using as placeholders, like fake models that are saving the spot.
No.
Like what's that exactly?
No, nothing is fake. I don't know. What do you mean by fake?
Like what are those placeholders? Are those real models that you are putting into the groups? How do you keep the placeholder basically? How does it look like?
So the placeholder looks like this. I look at like, oh, okay, I have 20 or so people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that means I have to, and there's 10 winners, right? I have to make sure that I win 10 kilometers. What? Sorry, not 10 kilometers. I don't know why I said 10 kilometers. 10 contestants, yes. I need to make sure.
Oh my God, this is the situation is not in control anymore.
Yeah, I don't think I'm in control anymore.
I'm like,
So,
kilometers are we talking about now?
yeah, I was like, what? Why am I saying 10 kilometers? So if I have 20 contestants, right, in this particular round, right,
Mm-hmm.
and there's 10 contestants moving forward, right, and I've calculated that there's 10 contestants coming in to this round that I'm creating placeholders for, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'm going to create 10 spots and then distribute. Yes, I'm going to create 10 spots. They don't have people yet, those 10 spots.
It's just spots that you are creating.
Yes, I'm creating pots. I'm saying ranking number 1 from that group over there comes here. Ranking number 2 from that group over there comes here. Now at the end of the round, when I end the round, I'm going to say, okay, I'm ending the round now. I have these people, right, that I need to place somewhere. The placeholders will tell me, okay, I just match the ranks, okay? Your rank number 1, you go there. Your rank number 2, you go there. Your rank number 3, you go there. That's what that's for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lebo, is this similar to like brackets?
Yes, in soccer.
Okay.
Yeah. Oof.
Okay, well, let's see what do we have left. I think we will let you go sleep. Okay. I think we will finish for now.
Yeah, I think I'll also just update the notes. So part of the notes I added here, I'll
Yeah.
just add more stuff tomorrow as well. Yeah.
Yeah, let's keep adding stuff as we go, to make sure we understand. But yeah, this call was good. I think we need. I know you hate it, but I think we need to keep doing that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I hate it too because I prefer you to actually finish with the open tasks. But I feel like we have to have that. We have to have those calls with you because that's how we can get clarity on things.
Yeah, and also because I was looking for some of the bugs that we spoke about some time back, but I couldn't find them on the Airtable. So I don't know where they are. If they're not maybe in step 1 or step 2 and they're placed somewhere else. Because I
Like
needed
what?
to, some of the bugs I remember Carlos, like I was looking for them. I was like, I don't see any new bugs, but I saw them being reported on the group. Right now I can't think of them, which one specifically. But yeah.
Something related to what? To the merges?
Well, actually there was the one for the double click on the merges. Is it there on Airtable?
I don't know if it's on Airtable, but we couldn't reproduce it. We thought that it was fixed.
You couldn't reproduce it anymore?
No, Carlos, let's keep an eye on that. We
Alright.
tried the other day. I think we tried on Friday, and we couldn't reproduce it.
Okay.
Try to reproduce it, Carlos, and see if you're experiencing this again. Let's add it to the Airtable.
I think it's already on the Airtable.
It should be, yeah. I don't know where though.
Let me look.
Yeah. Yeah, if you find it, just send me the link.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we had other issues with the merges that I know we added.
Yeah.
So, Carlos, if you find it to us, send it to Lebo. Like all those issues that we recently have. We recently had issues on Fridays as well, with the not be able to move to the semifinals and all of that.
Yeah.
Make sure to send it to Lebo, so we will be able to do that.
Alright.
Okay, so Lebo, should we wait for those fixes before continuing with the?
Yeah, because I think they just cause unnecessary issues. So I'll start with them, I guess, my morning as soon as when I start my day.
Yeah.
And just so that by early morning PST, most of them are fixed and you guys can test.
Okay, so no need to test it, contest stuff yet till we get the fixes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so let's focus on the other fixes, guys, and the latest build, basically.
Alright.
Right.
Okay, thank you so much, Lebo. It was very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yes. You too. Bye.
Thank you, Leonard.